What's up, Bruins fans? I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. In this video, it's going to be a short one. I'm focusing on Jake DeBrusk's recent comments he made on a podcast. I want to thank you all for clicking on this video, but 92% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you could click that like button and subscribe, it would let YouTube know that you like my videos, and it would help me out a lot. If you're already subscribed, thank you. Jake DeBrusk's relationship with the Boston Bruins was an interesting one, to say the least. He recently did an interview on the Cam Strick Podcast that has the hockey world aflutter. In the interview, Jake said, just with the way the team was shaping up when it came to looking at where I could possibly play in the lineup and things that and how previous year it ended, I got scratched in the playoffs and I was just thinking about a fresh start for both sides. At that point, I made the call to try and get it moving forward. And I didn't think they were taking it seriously. And I thought that at that point, I was fighting for my career. I thought I could add more than what was happening, and I didn't see anything changing, letting everyone know that he had asked for a trade twice out of Boston. His first request came in the summer of 2021. But when he wasn't traded and he still wasn't feeling the love from Coach Bruce Cassidy, he then requested again at the start of the season after he'd struggled in his first 15 games. Those trade requests became public. The Bruins tried to facilitate this trade, but injuries in the lineup brought DeBrusk back into the lineup. This time, his teammates knew he'd asked for a trade. It's part of the business, and most times, teammates do not even take it personally. DeBrusk said it was uncomfortable when it became public. When it came out, it was very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable at the rink the next day. I talked to the guys in the room and the guys that were there, and the biggest reason why I got out of the situation. They had my back and were with me through it all. They were all good with me. They understood I was trying to find a better fit for me and to have a longer NHL career and be a better chance at something. Bruins are also known as having one of the best cultures and dressing rooms in the league, so I totally understand that every single player on this team had his back and were totally there for him. DeBrusk was a first-round pick of the Boston Bruins from the infamous 2015 draft, but struggled with inconsistencies in his game despite scoring over 20 goals 3 times in his career and scoring 16 in his rookie season. Jake said he was looking for a better opportunity, but what better opportunity than playing with David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron? DeBrusk spent more time with these two centers than any other centers in the Bruins organization during his time with the Bruins, but for some reason couldn't excel where others did. Jake's speed was his game, but scored goals in bursts and would go pointless for many stretches. He would be placed up and down the lineup in order to try and get him going, but then only seemed to frustrate him more. Jake was also plagued by injuries in his career and never was able to play a full season in the NHL, but came close in 23-24, playing in 80 games. When it came to the playoffs, Jake seemed to rise to the occasion in big games, but still would disappear at times and you wouldn't even know he's on the ice. To say Jake DeBrusk frustrated me more than any other player for the Bruins in recent years is an understatement, because I feel he had a ton of skill, but he lacked the drive and seemed to act like he was owed things. I hear people say he wasn't given opportunities because that's what Jake has said publicly, but he played on the Bruins' top line a lot during his career and on the second line. He played in the top 6 for one of the most successful teams during the majority of his career. Maybe it was Bruce Cassidy that was his issue, but he seemed to have the exact same inconsistent play under Montgomery, and he too moved Jake up and down the lineup to send a message. I hope nothing but the best for Jake DeBrusk in Vancouver, and I even have a soft spot for him because that franchise, my dad played for them. But if he had issues on how Cassidy coaches, he's in for a wake-up call because Tocchet is no nonsense as they come and has a very short leash. I'm sure Jake will get every opportunity in Vancouver, and I hope he takes it because he can certainly play hockey very well. But the Bruins not re-signing him says a lot to me as well. The Bruins supposedly fired a coach for this guy and yet didn't bother to re-sign him when they had every opportunity to do so. Jake's new deal isn't a whopper, but the term certainly is. It's also manageable for the AAV, and the Bruins didn't even go there. There's a lot to take from Jake's time as a Bruin that puts a smile on my face, and I truly hope he succeeds in Vancouver. But I feel after hearing what he had to say on the podcast and everything that has happened with his time in Boston, maybe it was just best for both sides to walk away from each other. That's my thoughts on Jake's comments, but I want to hear from you. You let me know what you interpreted from this and how you think about Jake DeBrusk's career as a Boston Bruin. And that's a wrap on today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. If news breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, be sure to check out the channel. And if you've already subscribed, thank you. I'll see you next time.